ఒక తెలుగు వాడు నన్ను అడుగుతున్నాడు నువ్వేంటి అని. You know how like it's a tough place to be, and I hope that no one else faces that question and where like they don't really know what to say, because like even if you answer that question, let's just say if I knew the answer to that question, even if I said it, I know I'd go back home with a guilty conscience.
ఏమంటాడో ఇప్పుడు రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది
అవుతుందా? ఓకే,
ఇప్పుడు అవుతుంది.
Fair. Any
I like your bed. Is that called a platform bed? No, never mind. You got your
yeah man, this is the space that I have. This is like
tour chupistava. Yeah, we can have it as a home
tour. Studio, ide bedroom, anniki
kitchen ekkada kitchen meda bed meda
kitchen kitchen pakkana undala.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so yeah, how did you guys want to start it?
Yeah, no, ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే వెళ్తాం.
Oh, I thought you were doing it and then
అంటే మీరు పెద్దవాళ్ళు, మీరు ఏదో కొంచెం స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే మేము కూడా అదే.
ఓకే, మీరు పాడ్కాస్ట్ హోస్ట్ పెట్టుకొని నన్ను స్టార్ట్ చేయమంటారు. ఓకే, ఇంగ్లీష్ లో స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా, తెలుగులో స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా?
Oh my god. We'll start, bro. We'll start in English and you can start with your Telugu.
విచ్చేసిన ప్రేక్షకులందరికీ స్వాగతం, సుస్వాగతం.
Why haven't we done this?
నెక్స్ట్ అంటే మరి అంత స్పష్టంగా తెలుగు రాదు, సో
అదొకటే లైన్, దాని తర్వాత నాకు విజేసిన ప్రేక్షకులను స్వాగతం. అయితే ఇవాళ మనం మాట్లాడుకునేది అని వెళ్ళిపోతాను.
ఇదే ప్రోమో వేసుకోండి.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Telugu Saga. Today's guest is from Vancouver Island. He's into script writing, photography, film, a great singer. He's already into acting, trained public speaker, and a fellow drone pilot. And he hails from Hyderabad. Welcome, Roneet. How's it going?
Thank you. It's going well, man. How are you today?
I'm doing well too.
Pretty sweet. Thanks for the intro, though. That was you did cover a lot of skills. It's like
Even machana.
What's that?
Even machana.
No. Actually, I think chala ekku cheppesina anukuntunna nenu. But thank you, though. I really appreciate it. I've discovered you guys like ever since you had like 100 followers. Just like reiterate our conversation from the other day, and I'm super honored, honestly, because like there's been a lot of people from different backgrounds, different skill set who contributed a lot on your channel. And whatever I'm about to say, I actually was nervous a bit because whatever I might contribute to it, like I don't know, I still might be just like a drop in the ocean. So I'm gonna try and add as much value as I can for whatever we're about to speak about. But it's really nice to see you both.
Likewise, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Hear what you're about to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So my idea of this whole topic, I had a few different things to work with. I'm like, okay, I thought about a few topics and I thought, oh my god, this is like unwanted. It's like కొంచెం రిస్కీ చాప్టర్ అనుకుంటా ఇది ఎందుకు అని ఆలోచించి I had to like skim through a few different topics on my notes. But and then I went back to your channel. I saw what the other people were talking about, just so I know what's going on there. And the most recent post that you had was Yashu Rao. I think she spoke about body positivity and whatnot. That was a super cool video, by the way. I loved it. And then I went back a bit. One of my favorite posts that y'all had was Vinita. Her name was Vinita, and she spoke about the idea of growing up in two different cultures, which it hits home to me. Like it's really close to my heart, that topic. And I guess whatever I'm going to speak about kind of sort of is like an extension to that. And I love some of the points that she hit. And my topic, and I don't really have a topic, but I'm going to share a personal story. And as we go, you'll see how it sort of connects to what she said. So I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Ron. I'm a creative consultant. I make videos for fun. I play music, and I'm also heavily invested into health and fitness. In fact, soon enough, I'm going to be starting my own solo venture in that niche. And I like what I do. I mostly do things because they're fun, not because I'm expecting some sort of monetary gain out of it. And life's always been that way. Super artistic kid. I'm gonna also talk in like a second person point of view right now because like it makes it easier to make jokes about myself, about all the wrong choices that I've made in life. So I think I was about 8 years old. So little boy Ron, he went to this convent school, and a little different right there from the rest of the kids, because when the other boys are talking about sports or cars or anything, till this date, I don't know why, but I share no interest in it. Like I used to be the kid chasing insects and animals and whatnot, and my intuition, I think, just like my emotional depth in general, was like a couple degrees higher to begin with. So I enjoy the company of like like an animal, as opposed to like very shy kid. Like I was super shy. I wouldn't talk to anyone at all. So I had a fluctuating self-esteem, and then obviously being that sort of having that sort of a personality also means that you're vulnerable to bullies in school. And I went through all of that, and my self-esteem fell even further. And growing up in Hyderabad, it's beautiful. I love the city. Like you meet a lot of different people who are artists, and like you learn a lot. But being on the street also means you needed to be a bit tough, because you know the normal lingo, the slang that people talk is sort of like, I don't want to use the word braggadocious, but it sort of is like that. Like in a normal conversation, it's like in sangatul in hindi hindi. It's almost like, how tough are you? And I was never that tough. I'm like, ఏం లేదండి నేను ఇక్కడ మా వెనక, you know. So my tone was very like mellow, and I was always the beta guy. I was never that. And you needed to be a little more alpha to be the popular kid in school, which I never could be back then. And so having this sort of a mellow personality made me a little more in tune with some of my artsy skills. Like I thought I found refuge in music, so I'd rather play guitar in my room. I'd rather listen to like Linkin Park and Green Day, and back in the day it was like a huge refuge for me. And then after that, I made a lot of friends who also like the same thing, and Hyderabad's an amazing place to find artists, because like you never know whom you might find in a classroom, because like Ikkado Lajman says, oh, I'm a rapper, and he starts rapping, and like it's so cool that way. I loved Hyderabad for that. And it was always about, all the friends that I made were into different skills, and all of that skill set, it mainly means what I'm trying to get to is that life has always been about my self-worth comes from the skills that I possess. And it fix up early on. So I was like, I need to learn something today that's gonna do something better for me tomorrow. So like, oh, let's play the guitar, let's play the piano, let's play the drums. Oh, why not sing? Oh, maybe, one of my friends is good with cameras, so I might as well go to the set with him, and I'll see how he's doing stuff. And then, so that's how I probably like learned a little bit about everything. I don't really think I could even master one. And that's the point. I remember the other message that you sent the other day. You said you're the jack of all trades. Naku, I don't know if that was a compliment, but I certainly remember jack of all trades and master of none. And gurtochindu naku. I was like, so, but anyways, it comes with that. And as soon as I reached 18 years of my life, I think it was time to make some big moves. I knew that I thought, at least, that if I moved out of the country, oh my god, I could nurture some of these skills and I could actually do something about it. Maybe if I went to like Vancouver, I'm gonna like meet some kids from film school and like do something big. And so I moved. And trust me, as soon as I got to the university, I fell in love with the campus. Like I loved Canada. My God, I'm in British Columbia, one of the most beautiful places, right? And I loved the campus. But initially, though I was loving the whole experience, like I didn't meet anyone who was Telugu. Telugu మాట్లాడేటోళ్ళు ఎవ్వరు కలవలేదు నాకు ఇక్కడ, at least initially. So first couple semesters, I don't know how I lived without even like తెలుగు పాటలు వినడం కానీ మాట్లాడడానికి ఒకటి లేడు నా పక్కన. So maybe like that once a week conversation with mom and dad, but so first couple semesters, no Telugu people, and suddenly there was this passion event going on in my university where like you could showcase your talent. So obviously it's my stage, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do whatever I can. Fashion, I'm in skits, I'm in music, I'm in let's just go, let's do it, right? And then I showed up on stage like with a guitar, and I had a black shirt and tella panchi katkone. I was on stage and I was like playing the guitar. Until that point, I never met anyone Telugu. Dan tarvata there was a couple of people who came in and like, hey, no, they didn't think I was Telugu. Like they asked me my name and I said I was wrong. And I was like, oh, Mallu. I don't know. If I had a nickel for every single time someone asked me that question, if I was Malu, just because of the name, right? It's like Malu ante Telugu. And then they're like, oh, Teluga. Did no Telugu అనుకోలే, నువ్వు ఇక్కడ కేరళ అబ్బాయి అనుకున్నా అని. దాని తర్వాత I met a whole bunch of other Telugu people. I loved their company, super nice people. And for the first time after a year, I think someone invited me to their place, and I was thrilled, man. I remember that morning, I was like picking out outfits for that night. I'm like, oh my god, there's gonna be food, there's gonna be movies, Mali Telu Patlani, it's gonna be amazing. And it was like that to the most part. It was exactly what I expected it to be. Like I met a whole bunch of people, and then it comes to a point where like after all the dancing and food and all of that, you know how like you have like a heart-to-heart conversation at the end of the night with that one particular individual at a party. And it so happens to be this other guy, and he was a little drunk, right? And I was totally sober. Actually, that's a lie, I was fucking hammered. So both of us were equally drunk, and so happens we sort of shared like a conversation. He lied on my shoulder, not like in a sexual way, but like in a more platonic way. Like lied on my shoulder, and then we were talking about what life is like in Canada, and like when he moved and when I moved, and the things we wanted to achieve. And then comes the question, which sort of caught me off guard. Like I didn't know how to answer that question. I had like it was like a deer in front of headlights, honestly. The question was, Meru Emitlu. I was never asked that question before. All my days, Hyderabad lo ఉన్నంత కాలం, I was never asked that question before. నన్ను ఎవరు ఆ క్వశ్చన్ అడగలేదు. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాక for the first time someone said, like, to be quite honest, I don't know the answer to that. Like I didn't know what I'm supposed to say, because my mom never talked about it. My dad never talked about it. In my household, like no one has, that's not even a topic of conversation to begin with. So మీరు ఏమిట్లు అని అడగంగానే that వెంకీ మూవీలో బ్రహ్మానందం ఉంటాడు కదా, ఇట్లా నాకు అర్థం కాలేదండి అంటాడు కదా. నేను అట్లే అన్నా, నాకు అర్థం కాలేదండి ఏంటది అని. దెన్ ఐ వాజ్ లైక్, సో మీరేంటి అని. ఐ వాజ్ లైక్, తెలుగే అన్నాను నేను. అయితే అండ్ దెన్ ది గై వాజ్ లైక్, ఓ తెలుగు అని తెలుసు కానీ ఏం లైక్ మీరేంటి అని. అండ్ దెన్ ఐ హ్యాడ్ దిస్ అదర్ ఫ్రెండ్ హూ సేవ్డ్ మై యాస్, లైక్ he cut the tension, like he has an amazing sense of humor, this other guy. And he came in and I was like, మీరేంటి అంటే మేము తాగేటోళ్ళం అని నన్ను అట్లా సైడ్కి తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయింది అనమాట. బట్ that night though, I was sort of like subdued after that the whole time I was there, because for the first time I felt like, remember how I said my self-worth comes from all these skills that I possess? But in that moment, like, this guy didn't see me for all the things that I did, but he's rather asking me a question that's completely new to me. And I sort of started questioning my self-worth again. Like, అదేంటి ఇన్ని చేసినా కదా, అంటే ఇంత చెప్పినా కదా, I did all of that, and I talked to him about all these things that I like and all these things that I'd like to do, but అవేవి వాడికి గుర్తులేవు. వాడికి he wants to know something else altogether. So anyways, which is why I sort of kind of insinuated the other day when we had a conversation, I was like, I'd like this episode to be named What Are You? Which basically implies Meru Emitlu. And I know I was super evasive when y'all asked me what exactly is it that you're going to talk about, but I couldn't think of a better way to put it. I was like, okay, చెప్తే అందరికి ఒకేసారి చెప్పేద్దాం మీకు కూడా అని. And I didn't talk about it much, but basically this was the crux of the whole story is Meru Emitlu. And I understand that whatever that question means, like we all know what that question means, and whatever that is, it's bigger than me. I know that I'm not going to make a difference, and I accept it. But all I can do is try and restrain myself and have these boundaries of not being, I wouldn't indulge in a conversation like that. And for 100 million years, my answer to that question is, I am what I do, and not anything else. నీ పేరెందుకు ఇలా ఉంది, మీ ఫ్యామిలీ ఎక్కడి నుంచి, మీరేం బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఏంది, మీరు ఎప్పుడు మారినారు, ఇవన్నీ funny enough, as soon as I moved to Canada, that's when like I heard these questions, and never happened before, which was like, it's a new territory for me. Like, I couldn't deal with these questions, and I didn't know how to respond to them, quite honestly. But whatever that is, I understand that it's coming from, it's a part of the culture, and I get it. But I think it's time for a change, I guess. Like we've evolved a lot as like every individual, every young person who's shared the same heritage as us has changed a lot in their ways and the things that they do. Like, and I think ee area lo kuda maarte baaguntadi and anipichinది anamata. So like, it doesn't really matter what language they might be comfortable speaking in. It doesn't matter what God they might pray to. It doesn't matter what their name is like, but everyone can still be Telugu at the same point and not have these boundaries. You know, the most screwed up thing in the whole thing is, it's not even, these questions aren't even coming from like a white guy that I met in class. Like, ఒక తెలుగోడు నన్ను అడుగుతున్నాడు నువ్వేంటి అని. You know how like it's a tough place to be, and I hope that and no one else faces that question, and where like they don't really know what to say, because like, even if you answer that question, let's just say if I knew the answer to that question, even if I said it, I know I'd go back home with a guilty conscience. Like, అదేంటి సడన్ గా నన్ను నేను ఎందుకు అట్లా డిసోసియేట్ చేసుకుంటున్నా, you know. So like, that was a weird thing, but it was a good lesson for me. And I just thought, in this episode, I pointed out that there's a lot of demons that come with culture as well, and it's important to like recognize it. Like, of course, there's like there's so many good things that come from culture as well. Like we know, like it's what binds us together. Like especially Telugu ante, there's a few things that really bind us together. Movies, like songs. There's so many things that we can talk about, and I feel like caste is the last thing that we should be talking about. And I hope I see the day when it's not even a part of us anymore. I can only hope. But this is a little story that I had to share with you all today, and I know I could have like structured it well, but yeah, came from the heart, just the way it happened.
అసలు నువ్వు చెప్తుంటే I can actually visualize the story. అంటే you're a kid in school who didn't want to go into like this whole cars and all this fantasy, all that stuff. You just want to go into the nature, all that kind of things. And మొత్తం విజువలైజ్ చేసుకుంటే నాకు కూడా సిమిలర్ స్టోరీస్ అలానే జరిగాయి. బట్ ఇట్స్ లిటిల్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్. అంటే ఒకటేంటిదంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఫ్రాంక్ గా మాట్లాడాలి, ఆనెస్ట్ గా మాట్లాడాలి, పచ్చిగా మాట్లాడాలంటే వాళ్ళకున్నది క్లోజ్ మైండెడ్, నేరో మైండెడ్, అండ్ దాందే నోటి దూలు అంటారు. ఎక్కువ లూస్తంగా ఉంటుంది కదా. సో ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ అదే. బట్ బేసిక్ గా ఏంటిదంటే మన తెలుగు కల్చర్ లో అది కామన్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు కాదు, అప్పట్లో. ఇట్స్ లైక్ మీరు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చారు, ఇవన్నీ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఐ థింక్ because you lived with your parents, right? I'm assuming before you were 18, like when you moved.
Oh yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So you are pretty sheltered. అంటే మీ పేరెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి మీరు బాగా షెల్టర్ అయిపోయావు. ఇక్కడ వచ్చాక ఏంటిది, ఎవరు లేరు కదా, నువ్వు ఒక్కలే కదా. సో it's easy to just go and ask, right? But does it mean it's correct? Probably not, right? Like you shouldn't ask someone like that. I mean, these days I don't see why it's necessary. I don't want to name cities, but నా దగ్గర పక్క సిటీ ఉంది, అక్కడ కూడా తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు. And I actually saw people meet, ask each other like what their మీరు Emitlu అనే క్వశ్చన్లు అడిగి they actually don't even talk because they're from different community and background. So anta narrow minded keltaru. But one story I wanted to share to add on to what you said, right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
నేను కాలేజ్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు I joined Indian Student Association. Why? Because I wanted to meet more Indians here. ఇక్కడ కొంచెం తెలుగు వాళ్ళంటే కొంచెం తక్కువ. సో ఇండియన్స్ దేశీ కమ్యూనిటీ అంటే కొంచెం మనకు కూడా అది సిమిలారిటీ ఉంటుందని. అండ్ ఖచ్చితంగా చూస్తే there was always this dominance of like this Gujarati and North Indian like style.
Definitely.
And అక్కడ సౌత్ ఇండియన్స్ కి ఎక్కువ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ లేదని నాకు అనిపించింది. అంటే ఎక్కువ పాలిటిక్స్ దాని మీద జరిగేది. అంటే ఎవరన్నాకి ఏదైనా పొజిషన్ ఇవ్వాలన్నా లైక్ దే వాంట్ టాక్, వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ గుజరాతీస్ వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. అండ్ ఐ నెవర్ రియల్లీ క్వశ్చన్డ్ ఇట్ because it's just unnecessary drama that you want to deal with. So I just kind of eventually just left the organization, but it just reminded me of what you were saying.
Oh yeah. No man, this whole bias thing, this shit's real, bro. Like it's out there.
Yeah,
like you can't ignore it. Like you can't just say oh adanta bite undi kada man daggara ledhu kada ani. And like I see how you said like I was sheltered with my mom and dad. Like I'm super happy with the sort of environment that they've created for me, where like they didn't even tell me that the world out there was like this. Like they didn't even like నాకు చెప్పలేదు అంటే ఇట్లా మాట్లాడుకుంటారు అని. So I didn't expect that. Like that is true, but I'm glad that was the case. Like I'm glad that I didn't know about it when I was a kid. And I'm glad that all the friends that so my friends were like usually 10 మందిలో తెలుగు వాళ్ళు maybe ముగ్గురు ఉంటుండే. The rest of them were either they'd be Tamil or like Malayalis ఎక్కువ ఉండే నా circle లో. So being in convent, and I went to like Little Friar Loyola College number, you'll see like people from all over the place. India lo prati city nunchi untaru students, and it's nice that way. Like you learn a lot about other people as well, and it's nice to have like my own I bring that Telugu spin into the whole crowd, and I'll be like, yo, హైదరాబాద్ తెలుగు మాట్లాడని అందరూ ఏంది మీరు, and you know, so I liked the whole thing, but caste was never ever like a topic of conversation. And that's the funny thing, where it's like హైదరాబాద్ లో ఎప్పుడు అడగలేదు ఎవరు నన్ను, like it's not even a thing. అండ్ ఇక్కడికి రాగానే సడన్ గా అంత క్యాస్ట్ ఎట్లా గుర్తొచ్చేసింది అంటే, does that mean I'm going to be treated differently if I was something else? Like, I don't know. I don't even know who's upper, who's lower. నాకు అసలు ఏం తెలియదు నాకు దాని నుంచి. It's a new thing altogether.
It's sad that it's a type of question that it's either make it or break it, right? To prolong that relationship. I was wondering if you had like a follow-up meeting with him to like question him, hey, why does this question matter to you? Because like Vishal said, it's a matter of, you know, thinking big. You know, the conversation could have went towards like, hey, how can we collab on the skills we hone right now, and what you're doing this next weekend, kind of like, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, like, actually funny story, of course we did speak. Actually we did speak the same night, and like that guy along with like I think few others, vaadu inko mugguru kalsi, like I think all of them were like, they hit the right spot in the mind, you know, so they were like completely allowed at that point, right? So they were like Ron, నేను స్టోరీ రాస్తున్నా, రేపటి నుంచి మనం షూట్, ఇగో మనోడు కెమెరా, వాడు వెనకనకే డైరెక్ట్ చేస్తా, అరే నువ్వు కార్ దిగిరా.
What does this sound like? ఈ నగరానికి ఏమైంది?
Yeah. It was just like that. It was like it was like నేను రైటర్, వాడు ప్రొడ్యూసర్, డైరెక్టర్, నువ్వు యాక్ట్ చేయ అని. Like it was a whole funny thing. Like I know chances are the guy didn't even want to hurt me with that conversation, with that question. Like he was probably genuinely curious about what my background was, which is sad, because I can't even point it out. I can't just say, hey, అది తప్పు క్వశ్చన్ అంటే నేను ఫస్ట్ బెంచర్ లాగా ఉంటాను నేను అక్కడ, లైక్ యూనో లైక్ ఎందుకు అట్లా అడుగుతున్నావు, తప్పు కదా అని నేను అంటే ఎట్లుంటుంది, అసహ్యంగా ఉంటుంది. సో I can't change the things that he grew up with. Like it's probably normal from where he comes from or in his family, but because my brought up was so different from that, like it was straight up offensive for me. But then later on, as I thought about it, I was like, oh, you know what, it's actually a societal demon, and it's been there for a long time, and I probably won't make a difference, but all I can do is just keep my distance from it. And yeah, that was funny. But I don't think I ever met them after that night though. దాని తర్వాత ఎప్పుడు కలవలే.
సో ఏ మూవీ తీయలేదు అయితే?
మేలే తీయలే బ్రో.
Did you fuck them?
ఫస్ట్ సెకండ్ ఇట్లా గోస్ట్ అట్లా ఆర్కైవ్ లో వేసేసిన.
అంటే కాదు బ్రో, ఒకటి ఏంటిదంటే నాకు ఈ టాపిక్ మీద నాకు చాలా అంటే బ్లడ్ బాయిల్ అయ్యేంత స్టేజ్ వస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు క్యాస్ట్ విషయం వదిలే, ఓకే అది అడుగుతారు, అండ్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ it's up to us if we want to say, and then some people are okay saying it, some people are not. That's okay. But it gets to a point where they ask very, very like specific and detailed questions, and you're like, ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకొని నువ్వు ఏం చేస్తావు, ఇల్లు కట్టుకుంటావు
అంటే ఎట్లా స్పెసిఫిక్ అంటే ఎట్లా ఉంటాయి క్వశ్చన్
అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను లైక్ వేరే వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళాను అనుకో, దే లైక్ ఐ మీన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ ఐ బాట్ అ కార్ రైట్, there will be like ఇప్పుడు ఏ కార్ కొన్నారు, ఎంత ప్రైస్ కొన్నారు, ఇల్లు కొంటే లైక్ రెంట్ ఎంత కడుతున్నారు, and they like ask like
oh yeah
even your salary, everything.
Oh definitely, yeah.
Don't be shocked if they ask your bank details also.
Yeah.
They go like so detailed, and it's like ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకుని ఏం చెప్తుంది అంటే ఏం చేస్తావు, లైక్ అది అనిపిస్తుంది, బట్ లోపల అది అనిపిస్తుంది, బట్ యా బయట ఏదో కవర్ చేసి ఏదో మేనేజ్ చేస్తాం కానీ
ఏదో లేండి అట్లా దానిలో.
సో నాకు చిరాకేస్తుంది, అంటే అవసరమా, లైక్
no sure I think at this point, if the same question, what are you, if that question was coming from like a Telugu guy, Raviteja response is Raviteja from Anki Telangana first nike cheptana ani But if it's coming from someone else, like if it's like obviously it's not just like I'm not um like I don't have like a pathologized view towards like Telugu people only, but it's India mottamlo idundi, right? So like obviously that question was also asked by someone who's not Telugu, and yeah, my answer to them is normally, "What are you?" And I'm what I do. I don't really like. I was never given like a definitive answer to that. Like my family never talked about it, and I'd be like honest about it. Like I really don't know. I am what I do. I do a lot of things, and that's where that's what I'd like to be identified with, and not that. I mean, so yeah, it normally like breaks that conversation. Like they probably won't want to hang out with me after, because like obviously, why would he? Like
Yeah, it's their loss. I definitely see a light at the end of the tunnel, man, because I'm lucky to have friends who I never been asked that before, but I've been faced with a lot of uncles and families who ask me, and it's like it's only them. And I think they were also influenced by their parents, but
oh yeah,
I don't know how true this is, but Cass used to be like what type of work you do back then, and I don't know why it changed to like something different,
oh yeah,
and then now we're back at it.
right. So the Meru San Francisco కదా? San Francisco na?
విశాల్ శాన్ ఫ్రాన్సిస్కో, నేను పక్క సముద్రంలో
Right.
ఉంటున్నాను.
So yeah, I feel like this whole maybe like because like I mentioned earlier that that question was like pretty new in Hyderabad. Like Hyderabad lo ఉన్నప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ అంటే ఫీల్ అవుతారేమో జనాలు. హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎవరు అడగకపోతుండే. So maybe do you think um, I feel like maybe someone who's probably coming from like a metropolitan city, they probably be less exposed to whatever this is, and I feel like మార్మూల్ ప్రాంతాల నుంచి పల్లెటూరు నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి మేబీ కొంచెం ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయేమో ఇట్లాంటివి అని అనిపిస్తుంది. I'm not saying like I'm not judging them because that's the environment they're growing up in, so like there's nothing to judge, but అట్లా అనిపిస్తుంది. నీకు అనిపిస్తుంది అట్లా? అంటే మీరు చాలా మందిని కలిసి ఉంటారు కదా ఇప్పుడు శాన్ ఫ్రాన్సిస్కోలో. ఇండియా నుంచి మూవ్ అయిన తెలుగు వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉంటుండొచ్చు, అందులో హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి మూవ్ అయిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉంటుండొచ్చు, వేరే వేరే ప్లేసెస్ నుంచి మూవ్ అయిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉంటుండొచ్చు. అండ్ డూ యూ ఫీల్ లైక్ వీళ్ళు నారో వీళ్ళు కాదు అని ఎప్పుడైనా అనిపించిందా?
When people come from abroad to these Western states, when they ask these kind of questions, I think they're trying to find themselves with you. So they start with Midi, okay, got that done. What's next? They kind of nail it down to like, oh, and then they find out we're not the same anymore. And so that's what probably takes them off.
సో లైక్ ఇది అంటే పల్లెటూరు నుంచి మూవ్ అయిన వాళ్ళు అంటున్నావా?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to like you were such in a diversified city like Hyderabad thing. Cities like Hyderabad, like Bangalore, and be able to go from there and then come here.
No, yeah, for sure. There's like a lot of nice people too, man. It's not like everyone's like that. There's like super nice people. I met people విజయవాడ నుంచి నేను ఎప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎవరిని కలవలేదు విజయవాడ నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు, లైక్ వైజాగ్ లో కూడా ఫ్రెండ్స్ తక్కువ. బట్ it's only after I moved I met a lot of these people. Like I love
Bezawada, man.
What's that?
Bezawada.
Yeah. I love like the stories that they come with, and like I truly have fun with them. Godavar nunchi vachina vallu వాళ్ళ sarcasm on point until I'm like super like.
Do you know any of the sarcasm?
What's that?
Do you have any examples?
Examples, I should have plenty. Like I had this friend named so yeah, I'll share this story, right? So there was like 10 people of us under Telugu. We planned on going for camping this one summer. This was like a couple years ago. Easy. University days again. So we thought of going camping, and ఆబ్వియస్లీ మామూలుగా క్యాంపింగ్ ట్రిప్స్ అంటే స్లీపింగ్ బ్యాగ్స్ అండ్ లైక్ హాట్ డాగ్స్,
Yeah.
మేబీ లైక్ సిక్స్
Chapa.
ప్యాక్, a pop, like just like basics ఇవి ఉంటాయి కదా, just like ఇవి తీసుకెళ్దామని. But at this time, because like all the 10 people involved were like all Telugu, so we had like amazing food with us, right? Like అందరు ఒక్కొక్క వంట చేసుకొని అందరు తీసుకొచ్చారు, and we were going there. In fact, we had so much food that we had less space to sit in the cars that we had. We had like 3 cars. అన్ని సీట్లు మొత్తం ఫుడ్ తో నింపేస్తే, and then one of the guys was like, oh, ఏం చేద్దాం, స్లీపింగ్ బ్యాగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అది మనం ఒళ్ళో పెట్టి కూర్చుందాం, అప్పుడు ఇంకా స్పేస్ ఉంటుంది మనకి. అండ్ there was this other guy, I think who was from ఈస్ట్ గోదావరి అనుకుంటా, అండ్ హీ వాజ్ లైక్, ఎందుకు కప్పుకెళ్ళిపోదాం, ఇంకా స్పేస్ అంటున్నాడు వెనక నుంచి. సో yeah, man, it's fun. Like I never knew that Telugu వాళ్ళు ఇన్ని షేడ్స్ ఉంటారని నేను అనుకోలా. It's like so fun to meet all of them. But man, fun, man. It was a lot of fun. Like moving to Canada, meeting all these people. Um, like I get to like learn a lot, and at the same point, I just miss that one particular side of things from Hyderabad, where like I said, there was a lot of artistic people, and like I got to like share that space and like just sit and talk about nothing but creating stuff, right? So it was a nice space to be in, but that is one thing that I do miss for sure, because as soon as I moved, it wasn't like that. So like the main motivation for most Indian population in the place is what? Oh, permanent residency appudu PR eppudu vastadi, a passport eppudu vastadi. And it's like a rat race for that. And like my question to them is like, okay, తర్వాత ఏంటి, సరే ఇప్పుడు నీకు బిఆర్ ఇస్తున్నా నేను, తర్వాత ఏంటి, ఏం పీకేద్దామని దాంతోని, like are you like planning to do something, like what is it? And like లేలా అట్లా ఏం లేదు, ఫస్ట్ పిఆర్ వచ్చేయాలి. And like there was this one guy whom I asked the same question, and he actually had the audacity to say, ఏముంది పిఆర్ వచ్చాక ఆబ్వియస్లీ మన రేట్ పెరుగుతుంది, సో అంటే he was talking about కట్నం కదా, so like
Oh, I thought it was salary work.
no అట్లేం లేదు, సో ఇండియాలో ఫుల్ బిజినెస్ మనకి. లైక్ గాడ్ డామ్ ఇట్, లైక్ ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నారా. But yeah, that's one thing that I do miss from Hyderabad though. Like I wish there's more and more people talk about creating stuff. Like I do miss artists in the place, because at least they're like outside the box thinkers on because they're not motivated by migrating. They're like, it doesn't really matter to them about ఇది ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది, ఎంత జల్దీ పిఆర్ వస్తుంది అని కాదు. They're like, oh, how am I going to get better? How am I going to do that? Like, I want to learn something. I want to go out with someone who's not Telugu. Like, I want to explore my whole thing. Like, I want to hang out with other people from other places, Like, it's nice to have misfits like that. Like, I think the ones who don't fit into, like, just one group, but they sort of, like, hang out with a lot of others. It's nice to see that. Is it like that from the place that you're in? Like, do you have like a diverse group that you could hang out with if you wanted to, or is it like, oh, ma groups unne mama groups la mem tirutamani? Like, is San Francisco like super, like, I mean, I would imagine obviously చాలా places నేను జనాలు వస్తుంటారు, అది ప్రతి సిటీలో కామనే, but like నీ చుట్టూ ఉన్న మనుషులు, how are they, like, and is it like వాళ్ళ గ్రూప్స్ లలో తిరుగుతారా, లేకపోతే would you rather hang out with like others?
అంటే ఒక క్లారిఫికేషన్ అయితే నేను ఇస్తాను. We're both of us are not from San Francisco. నేను ఏదో బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ బాగుందని పెట్టుకున్నా.
అదేంటి బ్రో, మొన్న చెప్పినావు కదా అక్కడి నుంచి అని.
నేనా? కాదు, I said I was from LA.
Oh, F me. Yeah, that's true. You did say that.
But yeah, we're from a suburb in LA.
Yeah.
And ఇక్కడైతే అంటే నేను కాలేజ్ ఇక్కడనే చేశాను, సో I have different groups of friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes అంటే కొంతమంది ఇండియన్స్ ఉన్నారు, తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు, And then I have people who are Asian. It's just, it varies. And I always feel like I was never treated differently within these groups. They're all the same. Like, I was treated equally within any of the groups that we hung out in. So it's good. And nakaite, like, everybody treats me equally. We have no problems, so it's very good here. And nakaite experience pana undi.
I've got a question for you though, because you
Yeah.
said you've got different sets of groups. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever try to like bring them all to like one space? Like, did you ever like pick a couple people from each group and like hosted a party where like you brought different people together? If you did, how well did they gel with each other? Or did they like అందరూ కలిసారా లేకపోతే వాళ్ళలో వాళ్ళు కూర్చున్నారా?
అంటే నేనైతే హోస్ట్ చేయలేదు అలా, బట్ డెఫినెట్ గా లైక్ ఐ వాస్ ఇన్ అ పార్టీ వేర్ all those friends and a couple of another group of friends came. And they was very smooth. అంటే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏం అవ్వలేదు, బట్ దాని తర్వాత పాండమిక్ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. సో లైక్
Right.
సో అంత ఈజీగా అంటే వీ హావెంట్ రియలీ మెట్ అగైన్ లైక్ దట్. సో ఐ జస్ట్ మీట్ దెమ్ సెపరేట్లీ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ ఇక్కడ ఒక గ్రూప్, ఇంకో సిటీలో ఇంకో గ్రూప్ అలా.
Fair. Because funny enough, I asked that question because I did it, and I was super confident that everyone's gonna vibe with each other. I thought, oh, నేను వాళ్ళందరితోనే ఇండివిజువల్ గా అంత బాగా కనెక్ట్ అయిపోయినా కదా, సో వాళ్ళు కూడా కనెక్ట్ అయిపోతారు కదా అని. సో I actually had something like that. Man, that was pressure, man. You know why that was? Because all these groups that I had in the house, like, they wouldn't talk to each other. Especially like, I mean, if it's like someone who's Canadian, like they've got no problem asking questions and like just like in general small talk చేసి వాళ్ళ గురించి తెలుసుకొని ఇట్లాంటి చేయడం ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేకుండే. బట్ ఐ ఫీల్ లైక్ అప్పుడే ఫ్రెష్ గా వచ్చిన ఫ్రెషర్స్ కొంతమంది ఉండే ఇండియా నుంచి పిల్లలు, అండ్ దే జస్ట్ డిడ్ంట్ వాంట్ టు టాక్. పిల్లలు అంటే అదే చిన్న ఫ్రెషర్స్, ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ వాళ్ళని పిల్లలు అంటాం కదా.
ర్యాగింగ్ చేశారా?
లేదు, అట్లాంటిది ఏం లేదు. దే వర్ జస్ట్ లైక్ కలవలే, అంటే వాళ్ళు ఎవరితో మాట్లాడలే, అండ్ దే వుడ్ జస్ట్ లైక్ వాళ్ళలో వాళ్ళు కూర్చొని ఉండే. అండ్ ఐ వాస్ ట్రైంగ్ సో హార్డ్ టు లైక్ get everyone to like talk to each other and everyone. So in fact it was a shit show, as in నేను ఇండివిజువల్ ఒక్కొక్క గ్రూప్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి అందరు సాటిస్ఫైడ్ కాదో చూసుకోవాల్సింది ఉండే. లైక్ వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడుతున్నారా,
తిన్నారా,
లైక్ స్టాండర్డ్ క్వశ్చన్ కదా, దట్స్ ద క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ ద నైట్. తిన్నారా లేదా, ఓ అక్కడ కర్రీస్ పెట్టారా,
మంచిగుందా.
God damn it, it was pressure. Would you feel like, I'm sure you guys have seen kids like that as well, who had problems socializing outside of their circle. Have you?
మొన్నే జరిగింది side was but I'm just saying it happens, bro. Ante luckily like it wasn't like what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But appudu like you think you find someone that will vibe with the group, and then all of a sudden they just completely don't. It's like it goes opposite, it goes south, so
okay, instance wala jeevitame marpu.
So like
yeah,
would you think emanna cheyagalmantawa, so like just so like they're more comfortable, like emanna, how like, I don't know, man, like someone who's like fairly new to the place, I feel like I don't know what they're scared of, but obviously being open and being like social in general, it's not a thing. You don't see that happening often. Like I get why they're like a little insecure, which is totally cool. But do you think like there's things we can do to make them feel more comfortable?
You said that it didn't work out, right? Or it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Did you try to talk with them and say, like, try to ask if they want another chance to like meet?
Tried, and I think everyone noticed that I tried. Like,
okay.
In fact,
did you do any group activities?
Well, we had the
drinking
TV
doesn't
on.
count.
There was we had some board games going on, but very few were interested in that because mostly there was a all the guy circle was by the bar, like all drinks there, all unde, and the girls who were there, they're obviously a fair amount of gossip and all. And yeah, initially I was like, I introduced each and every person to each and every person. I'm like, yo, A, this is B, B, this is A, C, this is D. I'm like, and I just hope, I guess it was like unrealistic, and for me to expect them to just like become best friends in like one night, that's really not what I expected. But I at least thought అందరు ఒకరినొకరు మాట్లాడుకొని, just like, what do you do for work, just like casual questions వేసి, I thought it would be a fun night, but it wasn't like that. And I felt like వాళ్ళందరూ బోర్ అయిపోతుందేమో అని నేను వెళ్ళి, like, I was trying to be the entertainer in the place, which I come across as one anyways, but it was a tough night. And I remember ఒక తెలుగు అయితే ఎందుకంత ఆగమైతే నువ్వు వచ్చి కూర్చో కదా అని, I'm like, okay, సరే ఎట్లన్నా ఫ్లాప్ అయింది కదా సార్, కూర్చుందాం అని కూర్చున్నాను నేను కూడా. So like, but it was tough. I didn't ask, no, Vishal, I didn't ask anyone if they wanted to like hang out again, because honestly I thought I effed up so bad that I thought no one would ever make it, so I didn't ask them that. I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
అంటే మీ fault ఏం కాదు. Did you ask anyone individually why they haven't?
ఏమంటారు బ్రో అట్లా అడిగితే? I don't know.
బానే ఉంది బ్రో, పార్టీ బానే ఉంది
అంతే. బాగుందన్నా, బాగుందంటుంటే అని మేముంటది కదా. ఏమంటారు వాళ్ళు, మాట్లాడినాం కదా, ఓ యా మంచిగా ఉండే, అంత బాగుండే అంతే ఉంటుంది.
అంటే to answer your question, ante like there were some instances in my life where I try to have like a small group, mari pedda group em kaadu, it's like even just 2-3 people. I thought they were good friends, and then they initially talked, and then there was like some bit of drama or beef, and then they don't talk anymore, right? So ante aa paristhitilo nenunte I'll still go up and put my hand out to give them a handshake or something, but vere vallu kuda anta responsive lenappudu konsalu manam odleyali. We just have to like just leave it as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny enough, because I do have another question though. Something else, I think we're talking a lot about akkadi nunchi vachina vallu, like it's about how well like enta manchi blend aitaru ikkada, or like is it hard, like because obviously someone who's been living here for a while, as per appudu nenu vachi I think 4-5 సంవత్సరాలు అవుతుంది అనుకుంటా ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి.
సీనియర్
మీతో పోలిస్తే నేను ఒక సీనియర్ అవ్వ. నేనేదో అట్లా ఫ్రెషర్ గాని నేను,
ఇంకా ఫ్రెషర్.
So obviously I must have changed a lot ever since I moved. I know that I did, and for someone who's just moved, for them, కొంతమంది ఉంటారు కదా, కొంతమంది సెలెక్టెడ్ స్పెషల్ నీడ్స్ క్యాండిడేట్స్, వాళ్ళు వచ్చి ఈడెందుకు ఓవర్ యాక్షన్ చేస్తున్నాడు అన్నట్టుగా చూస్తారు కదా, అట్లా ఎప్పుడైనా అయిందా మీకు?
అయింటే బ్రో,
like them coming up to us saying
they wouldn't probably say that to you, but the sort of vibe that they give out is like, ఎందుకు అంత ఓవర్ యాక్షన్ చేస్తున్నాడు, మామూలుగా ఉండొచ్చు కదా అన్నట్టుగా. Because I got that a few times, and I'm like used to it by now, but I gotta be who I gotta be. Like, this is what I can offer, this is what I've learned over the years. So like I don't come across as disingenuous. Like I'm very sincere with the way I come across, but some people fail to see it, especially for someone who's just literally moved. And వాళ్ళు చూసి, అంటే వీడు ఎందుకు ఇక్కడ పుట్టినోట్లాగా ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నాడు వీడు అన్నట్టుగా చూస్తారు కదా, అట్లా ఎప్పుడన్నా అయిందా? అవ్వలేదా?
అంటే
నేను సర్కిల్ మార్చాలి అర్జెంట్ గా.
బట్ అంటే we've had instances where అదే కొంతమంది like నేనేం తెలుసుకున్నా అంటే, మరీ ఎక్కువ కొత్త వాళ్ళని పరిచయం చేయకు, అది న్యాచురల్ గా జరిగితే ఇట్స్ బెటర్ అని నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది. కొన్నిసార్లు క్లిక్ అయితే ఇట్స్ అమేజింగ్, దే బికమ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. నేను కొన్ని ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ చూసాను వేర్ two people are friends, and then another guy gets introduced,
Yeah.
and our two best friends kanna, like the person that is introduced to that new guy, they become friends, and then
Yeah.
person చేస్తాడు like he's gone, right? Like
I've always been a third guy.
so, so like కొన్ని
The
అంటే
broker.
అంటే ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ కొన్ని బ్రేక్ అవుతుంటాయి అట్లా.
Yeah.
సో అది చూసాను. బట్ యా అంటే నాకున్న ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లో డ్రామా ఈ చిన్న చిన్న గ్రూప్స్ లో అవడం వల్ల లైక్ ఎందుకులే అని వదిలేసినవి కూడా ఉన్నాయి కొన్ని అట్లా.
Right.
Yeah.
So మీరిద్దరు ఎన్ఆర్ఐస్ కదా?
Yeah.
మేము ఎన్ఆర్ఐస్ అని మీకు ఎప్పుడు అనిపించింది? అనిపించింది అసలు?
అంటే పెద్ద ఆలోచించాం అది. ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్.
No?
No.
Because like, have you I'm sorry Vishal, I don't think I ever asked you that. Like ఇండియాలో అంటే ఇండియాకి లాస్ట్ టైం ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళినా అసలు వెళ్ళినా?
That is a nice
correct question.
correct tone too.
Yeah, yeah. అంటే నేను ఇండియాలో పుట్టాను, హైదరాబాద్ లో పుట్టాను, అండ్ దెన్ నేను ఇక్కడ 2 years ఉన్నప్పుడు వచ్చాను, అండ్ దెన్ ఐ థింక్ ఒక ఫ్యూ టైమ్స్ వెళ్ళింటాను ఇండియా, బట్ it's been last time I came was 2012, so almost 10 years I've been watching.
Oh damn, 2012.
That's the last thing he remembers. He was born in India.
I'm trying to remember all the ఏం జరిగింది 2012. దూకుడు రిలీజ్ అయింది.
Oh my god.
బిజినెస్ మ్యాన్ కూడా అదే అరౌండ్ అప్పుడే వచ్చింది. Yeah, Taman was speaking at that point. And హైదరాబాద్ లో ఏం జరిగిందా అని గుర్తెచ్చుకున్నట్లు.
అంటే నాకు బేసిక్ ఏం గుర్తు అంత గుర్తేం లేదు, బట్ 2012 లోనే ఎక్కువ అంటే లైక్ మేము యాక్చువల్లీ మా బాబాయ్ లైక్ హౌస్ వార్మింగ్ పార్టీకి వెళ్ళాం, లైక్ సెరమోనీకి వెళ్ళాం, అండ్ సో ఐ గాట్ టు విజిట్ సమ్ కజిన్స్ అండ్ యు నో ఇట్ వాస్ గుడ్. అంటే ఇట్ వాస్ షార్ట్ ట్రిప్, బట్ నాకు అంత ఇప్పుడు వెళ్తే మేబీ ఐ కెన్ హ్యావ్ మోర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ అండ్ మెమరీస్, బట్ it's been 10 years అయిపోయింది. ప్రతి ఇయర్ సమ్మర్ ఏదో ఒకటి ఉంటుంది నాకు, సో ఐ can't I couldn't make it.
Of course you'll have some good memories. కొత్త వేరియంట్స్ వచ్చినాయంట, వాటిని కూడా చూసినట్టుంటది.
ఇప్పుడు వద్దులే బ్రో. అసలే the city I live in is called Corona.
ఎక్కడ నువ్వు?
నేనున్న సిటీ it's literally called Corona.
Oh sweet man. Dang. And Sai, how about you? Did you ever go back? Like I know you moved in 2005, I think.
Yeah. Remembered. Yeah, I went back 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? How did you feel about the place? Do you still have the same friends? Like do you keep in touch with whom you're friends with back then?
I would say
you
relatives.
Must have been a kid, but
I have quite a bit relatives. I wouldn't say friends. I know my neighbors, but primary reason for that trip 2 years ago was to see more of my relatives from my mom's side.
Okay.
Yeah, that I've not met before.
అప్పుడు నేను నోరు అనలేదా నువ్వు ఎన్ఆర్ఐ కానని?
I think they knew by the time నేను వేసుకునే షర్ట్ గానీ,
yeah,
my dressing style and the way I spoke, half English, half Telugu.
Like
అరే మీ వాడు ఏంది తెలుగు రావట్లేదు, ఏం బయటకు రావట్లేదు.
I know. It's a tough one. I think with the language though, I still struggle with. This is a great topic, by the way. With the language, you know, when I try to create content, I really struggle with and there's a lot of thought that goes into it. I'm like, ఇందులో తెలుగు మాట్లాడాలన్నా, ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడాలన్నా, లైక్ కాంటెంట్ గ్లోబల్ ఉండాలి కదా, గ్లోబల్ కాంటెంట్ ఉండాలంటే తెలుగు ఇట్లా, యూనో దేర్ ఇస్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇది ఉంటుంది. ఫ్యామిలీ వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఇంగ్లీష్లో లైక్ నాకు రావట్లేదని తెలుగు, దూరం చుట్టాలతో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడాల్సి వస్తుంది. మేబీ లైక్ క్లోజ్ ఫ్యామిలీతో అయితే నడిచిపోతుందేమో ఇంగ్లీష్లో. But yeah, some of them are obviously gonna like ask me. I think the last time I was there 2017, I think 2017. So when I was there, I went out with someone. We were sitting just having coffee, and అక్కడ వెయిట్ చేస్తాను రాగానే ఐ వాజ్ లైక్ కుడ్ ఐ గెట్ సమ్ నాప్కిన్స్ అని అడిగితే నవ్విండ్రు అక్కడ. ఓకే,
ఇక్కడ
నవ్విండ్రు.
ఓడిపోయినా నువ్వు.
అట్లనే that was the next question కదా. లైక్ ఇక్కడే కదా పుట్టినావు, నాప్కిన్స్ అండి అని అన్నట్టు. బట్ దెన్ లైక్ హౌ డు ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ టు దీస్ గైస్ లైక్ అరే నువ్వు అక్కడ ఉంటే నువ్వు కూడా అట్లా అయిపోతావు, ఏం చేయలేవు. వెన్ యూర్ ఇన్ రోమ్ బీ లైక్ ఇన్ రోమ్ అన్నారు కదా.
యా, అలా ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ జరుగుతాయి. ఐ థింక్ నేను కూడా వెళ్ళినప్పుడు
అప్పుడు అంటారు ఓవర్ యాక్షన్ చేస్తున్నాడు.
అది
యా, అంటే లాంగ్వేజ్ లో నాకు అప్పుడు ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అమ్మతో నేను రోజు తెలుగు మాట్లాడతాను, సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ అ ఇష్యూ. కానీ మన బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్, మనం వేసుకున్న బట్టల వల్ల తెలిసిపోతుంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇతను ఇక్కడ నుంచి కాదు అని తెలిసిపోతుంది. అంటే వెన్ యూఆర్ వాకింగ్ అండ్ యూఆర్ వేరింగ్ లైక్ ఇలా కాలర్ టీ షర్ట్ వేసుకుంటే ఇట్లా బ్రాండ్ ఇట్లా ఏదైనా వేసుకున్నాం అనుకో తెలిసిపోతుంది.
ఎక్స్ప్రెస్
తెలిసిపోతుంటది. సో ఇట్స్ క్విక్.
So like I don't know if like we're trying to compartmentalize like people by the way they dress or anything, but when I imagine, like if I had to like picture a guy in my mind who's like an Indian guy but who's like in the States, akkada put perinodu and from our heritage, I think half sleeve shirt and like some jeans tucked in with a belt and some sort of runners, I guess. And like I mean I don't think, I'm not saying it's not fashionable or anything, but then that's how I imagine them to be. Is that the look that you have right now? ఇప్పుడు ఏం వేసుకున్నావు?
మేమా షర్ట్ అండ్ షార్ట్స్.
సేమ్ టెన్నిస్ షార్ట్స్ వేసుకున్నాను.
సేమ్.
నైస్.
నువ్వేం వేసుకోలేదు అయితే?
కెమెరా వద్దు పక్కన బ్రౌజర్ క్లోజ్ చేయాలా ఒక్క నిమిషం. No, I'm wearing jeans వేసుకున్నా. Like I got back from a walk. Like I said, I had a leg day, so like my leg was so sore. I had to like get some blood in there. Walking కెళ్ళి వచ్చి ఇట్లా కూర్చొని అన్నమాట. But man, I had a question in mind. I forgot. US లో ఉంటున్న వాళ్ళని చాలా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగాలని ఉంటుంది నాకు.
ఏం డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది? అంతా నార్త్ అమెరికన్ ఇక.
ఏంటది?
ఒకే కాంటినెంట్ గా.
ఒకే కాంటినెంటే కరెక్టే. But then I'm just trying to see like if everyone else had the same experience as I am right now. Like అంటే ఇట్లా కల్చర్ లో గానీ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో గానీ అంటే
తెలుగు అసోసియేషన్ ఏమన్నా అక్కడ
వాటా
No way.
వాటా అంటే వాంకూవర్ తెలుగు అసోసియేషన్. నేను ఇక్కడ రాగానే రిక్వెస్ట్ వచ్చింది నాకు ఫేస్బుక్ లో, వాటా ఏంట్రా వాటా అంటే చూస్తే ఇదన్నమాట. అది ఇట్స్ అ హ్యూజ్ గ్రూప్ తో లైక్ చాలా
వెళ్ళి పాడావా అక్కడ? పాడావా స్టేజ్ మీద?
నో, ఐ థింక్ లైక్ స్పెసిఫిక్ గా తెలుగు క్రౌడ్ కోసం అయితే అట్లాంటి ఆపర్చునిటీ రాలేదు. బట్ ఐ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ లవ్ టు లైక్ when I get bored I take my guitar, ఎక్కడెక్కడైనా పార్క్ లో ప్లే చేస్తుంటా. అప్పుడప్పుడు ఓ తెలుగు పాట పాడుతుంటా. అట్లా నా కోసం నేను పాడుకుంటా, ఎవరి కోసం కాదు.
Or can you play a Telugu song right now?
Sure man, like yeah, let's do it.
Sorry,
ట్రై చేద్దాం. వెబ్ క్యామ్ లో బాగా పోతుండొచ్చు, చేద్దాం.
At least you are now wearing shorts, man.
Oh gosh, this is official now.
Feels like it.
గురుగారు పేరు, సాంగ్ పేరు,
oh my god,
ఏం ఎంచుకున్నారు?
లేదు ఈ పాట వాల్యూ ఏంటో తెలుసా నీకు? know the value of that song?
Takida 2-4
B4 B3
మీరు ఎక్కడో తీసుకెళ్ళాలనుకుంటున్నా, అక్కడికి రారు.
అక్కడ రారు. Okay, let's do it. ఈ పాట పాడతా. ఒక్క నిమిషం, నేను మైక్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటా. Get ready. One, two, మొన్న కనిపించావు మై మరచిపోయాను అందాలతో నన్ను తుర్రు చేస్తావు ఎన్నెన్ని నాళ్ళైనా నీ జాడ పడలేక ఎంతో వెతికాను కాలమే ఆయనే పరువాలని వెన్నెల ఎనలేని నా వేదన ఈ పొద్దే నాతో వచ్చేలా ఊరంతా చూసేలా అవుతాంట. What's that?
That was mind blowing, bro.
Right
నా
on.
నా లైఫ్ లో ఏదైనా రిగ్రెట్ ఉంటే గిటార్ నేర్చుకోవడం నేర్చుకోలేదు.
Guitar వద్దు bro, you know, I'll tell you what, piano చూసేసుకో.
Bro, line
Yeah.
starting, I think your voice just gave life to the song.
యా
Oh man, thank you. I felt like, yeah, I tried hard not to butcher that, but I think the last time I did that for on like a WebEx call was like, I think about Orange, Nino, another singer friend of mine. We were doing Orange the mashup like చేసినాం అన్నమాట.
Isn't that the one on your highlights? Remember when we shared
Yes,
it?
yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you. You had some nice thing to say about it. I remember. So yeah, Orange thing that was like mainly like scripted. I think initially, of course, separate record చేసినాం. It's not like we sang on the.
That's a fun skit. Yeah.
That'd be horrible just to like కెమెరాలో పాడేద్దాం అంటే బాగుండదు. So we had to like అక్కడ ఒక ఈమెయిల్ ఇక్కడ ఒక ఈమెయిల్ అక్కడ మిక్స్ ఇక్కడ మాస్టర్ అక్కడ ఇది ఇక్కడ తర్వాత. But yeah, the last time we did it was that. It was in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were like, oh man, this is the end of the road. I think we can. దీని తర్వాత ఏం లేదు మనకి. వెబ్ క్యామ్ లో చేద్దాం ఏమన్నా.
My first thoughts were when you were doing that, I thought you were like you were this 30-year-old really professional singer, you know, has been doing this for a while. And come to find out, dude, I don't even know
ఇదంతా
when
బాగుంది 30 years old అని ఎందుకన్నావు?
to give you
30
that
years old
wise
professional ఉండాలనా?
to give you that wise impression.
But thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really, I really appreciate it.
We're
but
curious, like when did you start
with singing?
guitars singing?
Really early on, I would say. I think I was I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. Like I picked up the guitar, and back then it was hard to like. ఇప్పుడైతే యూట్యూబ్ లో నేర్చేసుకుంటారు కదా అందరూ గిటార్స్ పట్టుకొని. అప్పుడు I remember the internet was so slow. Like I used to like, you know how like we have chords and stuff on the guitar, right? So I'd be like, luckily I went to like the church that I went to. Obviously, church has a lot of music going on, and I'd like watch people play, and I'd come back home and I try to like hold the same spot and I try to see like if it sounds the same. So like mainly self-taught internet. But if I ever had a doubt, I'd obviously browser open చేసి C chord enter. It's not like google.com అని కొట్టాలని కూడా తెలియదు నాకు. జస్ట్ అక్కడ పైన C chord అని కొట్టి ఎంటర్ కొడుతుండే. And yeah, it would come up like Google images మీద కొట్టితే మెల్లగా ఇట్లా స్లోగా ఒక ఇమేజ్ ఇట్లా లోడ్ అవుతుంది. తర్వాత లైక్ ఓ సో దాట్స్ ద వన్ అని అప్పుడు నేర్చుకుంటున్నాను అనమాట. But yeah, I was a kid. I had a lot of influence around me. I think growing up, my brother is a pianist, um, and music was like around. I think a lot of people in my family play music. All of my friends do. I think I don't know if I'm really picky that way. Like, వాడేమన్నా చేస్తాడా అని. But all of my friends, I think they do that. I feel, yeah.
Do you guys compose new tunes, put it on SoundCloud?
Who, me? Like,
Yeah, you or with your friends?
So back in Hyderabad, I was a part of 2 bands. And for one band, I mainly did the guitar, and the other was me and a couple other dear ones we started. this band. It was called Even Went Out. We had like this massive production that went into this one music video that we did. We were supposed to do a lot more after. We had a few songs like in the making. Like we had a lot was going on. We still have it like in Kaundi. And obviously we're not a band anymore, obviously, because we're not like actively working towards something. Andaru walla phase lo unnaru. But maybe like as a solo thing chestanemo. But yeah, like I really don't want to like normally openness chupistundanemo, but then I had like I don't know what I was thinking. The baby face unde ఆ రోజుల్లో 40,000 పెట్ట మ్యూజిక్ వీడియో అంటే నాకు I don't want to ever go back to it. Like it's yeah, I don't want to hear myself sing again.
We would love to, man.
Spotify, that's the goal. The next couple projects that I have in mind is obviously, I think I shared this with you, and obviously I'm gonna need a shout from both of you when I do it. But there's a
Shout కాదు వైరల్ ఇంకా.
oh man, thank you, man. Thank you.
Viral fever.
But
New variant coming, introducing.
yeah, something like that. So a podcast is there. Like I'm script slowly, and then the other thing is like the niche is going to be health and fitness. But the plan is to start this whole YouTube journey and see what that's about. Like obviously it's gonna like the production side of things are gonna be a bit more expensive in a way. Like I've got all this equipment, I'm gonna put all of them to use. But health and fitness basic పెట్టుకొని ఒక start చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా. But not like, oh, how to get 6-pack in 6 days. ఆ type content కాదు. But something like daily vlog sort of a thing. ఒకటి చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నా. Pretty
I can totally see you do that, man. Good luck to you. Even like a 2-minute thing, I think we'll be entertained by the way you say things.
Yeah. For I think the first video is gonna be how to reduce belly fat. 10,000 dislikes. Because there's no such thing as reducing belly fat. I think that's the one question that everyone has to ask. Like if someone like sees a picture of mine that go like, oh, నాకు అంత ఓకే బ్రో, ఒక్క పొట్ట తగ్గితే చాలు. నేను అంట ఆ ఒక్క పొట్ట తగ్గదు అట్లా, లైక్ మొత్తం తగ్గుతుంది కానీ అదొక్కటి తగ్గదు అని. But yeah, there's a couple things I'm really excited about it. I'm super appreciative of the time that you guys gave me. Like I probably at this point looking back, I feel like maybe I should have structured things a lot better, but I didn't want to like use a strong language because I know ఈ మధ్య ఏంటో జనాలు ఇట్లాంటి హట్ అయిపోతున్నారు. So like I tried as much to be as honest as can with the experience that I've shared, and I loved it, man. Thank you guys again.
Oh, we loved it too, dude.
Absolutely. Question though, నీ background లో ఏ ప్లేస్ అది సాయి?
నా చెరువు మన పొలం అనుకున్నా.
నిజంగానా?
యా.
2 పంపి బ్రో. చేపలు ఏంది చేపలు అంటున్నా నేను.
చెరువు అంట.
2 చేపలు పంపి అంటున్నాను.
2 చేపలు.
I think my dad loves the తెలుగులో ఏదో ఫిష్ ఉండే వంజరం. 2 వంజరాలు పంపి బ్రో.
అది 2 గోల్డ్ కాయిన్ లాగా. It's a place Vishal and I went before we skydove. It's a small lake out about near San Diego. Yeah.
So both of y'all did it? Like I know. Oh, actually, you know what? నేను చూసిన, నేను ఆ వీడియో చూసిన. I saw Vishal like because he was a thumbnail on it.
Yeah.
But నువ్వు కూడా ఉండేనా దానిలో?
నేను
Yeah, how was it, man? How did it feel?
విశాల్
నువ్వు కూడా చేసావుగా స్కై డైవింగ్?
నేనేదో లాస్ట్ లో చేసాను.
అబ్బా కాదు బ్రో, స్కై డైవింగ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ బాగుంది. అంటే మేము ఇద్దరం వెళ్ళాము. సేమ్ ప్లేన్, జస్ట్ ఐ థింక్ మేబీ 2-3 minutes అపార్ట్ అంతే.
ఓకే.
సో ఇట్స్ గుడ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. అంటే ప్రపంచం పైకి వెళ్ళి జస్ట్
ఎంత
ఒకసారి
ఏ ఫీట్ నుంచి
13,000 feet.
Oh, not bad. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Must have been something.
అంటే ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ ఇట్స్ లైక్ అ వీక్లీ థింగ్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్. ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి ఒక వన్ టైం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కోసం వెళ్తాం. సో
Oh yeah. ఎన్నిసార్లు చేసిర్రు అయితే మొత్తానికి ఒకేసారా?
ఒకేసారి దూకా.
Okay.
కానీ వీడియో 10 సార్లు చూసారు అంత.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember that it was an experience for sure. నేను కూడా చేసిన అన్నమాట ఇక్కడ.
Yeah, but do you have video?
Huh?
Do you have video?
I do. So like I do, but I didn't want to like post it because I was like, oh, you know what? If అంటే తర్వాత ఏదన్నా షార్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ ఏమన్నా చేసినాం అనుకో, like if we ever had a sequence
exclusive release.
ఫుటేజ్ అందులో వాడదాం కదా, చేసేద్దామని. సో లైక్ ఐ డెంట్ పోస్ట్ ఇట్, బట్ యా నాకు ఒక్కసారి సరిపోలే, 2 సార్లు పోయినా నేను. I was like, I'm not too sure how I felt the first time. I want to remember it like for sure this time. And then malli illana nenu. But it was absolutely visceral kada. Like just to be up there. I think the first 40 seconds is the shit. You know, like the free fall. I think that's where the whole thing is. Did it feel?
Go ahead.
Did it feel long? Sorry to cut you off.
It felt long after the 40 seconds when you do the parachute.
Yeah.
But I want it to be longer, obviously, because this guy was showing us Mexico on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was just in this whole thing of like, do we just do this?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it did feel long for me as well after the free fall, like when you're like just like floating up there. It was nice. Like, I remember the first time when I was doing it, you know how like you pull and you spiral down like that? Like I was freaked out, but I loved it at the same point. It was like
కింద కొంచెం నొప్పి పుట్టింది కదా, అదే ఒక కింద నొప్పి పుట్టిందా?
ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ చల్లగా ఉండింది కదా పైన. సో లైక్ సో అక్కడే మై మసిల్స్ వర్ లైక్, నాకు తెలియట్లా, like I can't feel much. Like I feel like I had control, but I really didn't. Chaliki, but it was fun. The second time when I did it was a lot warmer than that. I feel ikkada Whistler అని ఉంటది, like it's known for sky diving in Canada, and it was great. I think the next time if I'm doing it, I'd want to do it in Dubai.
Yeah,
there we go. We decided on that too.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, she's posted like a few pictures from like the Dubai skydiving. I'm like, man, I gotta do that as well. It was super cool.
If we go there, like Sai and I plan, we're like, we should definitely go in Dubai. So
yeah, man,
dude, the view is amazing, like even from the video.
Of course, and have it filmed as well, like Tom Cruise style film cheyikla nee venka kuda oka dunkal camera pattukoni atla
నేనున్నాగా.
So like have like GoPros and like do it solo and like iddar dunkandi atla iddar videolallo untaru.
మగధీరాల ఇలా ఇద్దరు సేమ్ టైం పడుతుంటారుగా.
Yeah, man, it's super cool. Skydiving, one of thing. Scuba చేసిండ్రా మీరు?
Yes, I was with the person who couldn't go because it was his first time and had breathing problems. But I went to a certain feat.
Okay.
Did you go?
I'm in a land where it'd be a sin if I don't do it.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'm on an island and I didn't do it. But I want to though. Like it's definitely on the list.
Isn't September the best time when the water is warm?
So they say. So they say, and like there's a lot of like whale watching. There's, oh my god, there's some beautiful spots out here, man. Like if you ever get to like visit Canada, do check out the island. Like,
room unda mee daggara?
Huh?
Space unda akkada?
అయ్యో ఇంత సరిపోదా మీకు ఇద్దరు సరిపోదా
ముగ్గురు అవుతాం మనం.
పర్లేదులే ఏదో అడ్జస్ట్ అవుతుంది.
నో యా ఐదుగురు వచ్చి ఉన్నారు ఈ రూమ్ లా ఈజీగా అడ్జస్ట్ బట్ that'd be super cool if you guys had to join. Just like let me know. I think just for scuba, I think the place is worth it. నాకు కూడా వెళ్దాం అని చాలా ఉంటుంది కానీ ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ నాట్ ద బెస్ట్ స్విమ్మింగ్ లైక్ ఐ థింక్ స్విమ్మింగ్ లో నా proficiency I think I'd be like an equivalent of a sloth. My aquatic experience, like I'm not the best at it. Like I'd probably save myself, but the problem is when I stop swimming I just drown.
Not
Like-
when you are on your back.
What's that?
Do you still drown when you're on your back?
Probably not.
Okay.
But you know, my biggest fear is that when I'm on my back, I feel like my head's gonna hit a rock or something. So like I at all times I need to have a visual of what's in front of me. So yeah, I mean like I could swim like across the lake from one end to the other, but the problem is when I stop swimming, or like I don't know how to float. So I should probably work on that before the scuba dreams, you know.
For sure, man. Yo, Roneet, Ron, Mr. Joshua, thanks for your time today.
Nope, nope.
I did really like the unstructured way of going about it, just so we can talk about anything we wanted. And I felt like this was just a Dava meetup for like, it was just casual conversation.
Right.
And I really liked the format. So thank you.
No, thank you. I truly appreciate the time as well. Like, it means a lot that you gave the space. Like I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you're gonna pick the best parts out of it, and that you'll cut out all the unwanted ums and ahs that I have.
I was
All the other
look, this isn't Toastmaster. I'm not gonna count how many us.
so like yeah, I mean like I'd be so critical, man, like if I ever like watched myself. But I hope that I hope we do this again like at some point in the future.
Yeah,
And obviously I'm always gonna support like everything, all the endeavors that you're doing for the channel.
thank you.
Just like any shout that you need, obviously you're gonna do it. I'm like super impressed, and I'm excited to see the post amidst all the other faces out there. Like so many different talented people, and it's cool. Thanks, Vishal and Sai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So to all the listeners, you know, like appreciate all the amount of comments and compliments that we get, and all the followers. Really appreciate you following our page, spreading that positivity, and hope to be back, Vishal and Sai, with another great episode. So thank you all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.